Hello. I guess now you'll be able to hear. Okay, so let's say whenever you implement something, right, any software, and let's say there's a function which is responsible for extracting data from database. Okay, so and you have multiple files. Your project is split into multiple files, and in all the files, whatever the files you are having, 4 or 5 files, in all the files, you want that functionality. I mean, you want that piece of code which is responsible for extracting data from database, right? So instead of having that piece of code again and again in all those 5 files, what you can do is, if you're implementing in C, you can have one header, implement that function definition in that header, and call that function from all those 5 files. Okay, so this called, there should not be duplicate code in all those files, right? You can implement a code only at one place, and then you can call that function again and again from all those different files, right? So the basic use of inheritance is that, okay, we can reuse the code. We can reuse the code. Okay, so you might all be knowing already like what inheritance is. It is like inheriting some property from base class. Okay, basically we will be reusing the code. Okay, whatever is already implemented. How to do that in Python, we'll see, and how it is different from when you inherit in Java and when you inherit in C++ and in Python. What is the difference? Okay. So basically, to understand this, what we can do is, you might be having some kind of contact manager in your mobile, right? You just go to the contact app. You will see a lot of contacts in your mobile, right? So assume that there's a similar, there's a contact manager in mobile app, okay, which is a kind of managing the contacts and storing email ID and let's say name of all the contacts. Okay, so so how will you create that kind of app? I mean, how you write that kind of code? What I want is application where you can add the contacts. Okay. Phone, email ID or name as a variable. Okay. So okay, fine, right. So let's say this is GUI, right? Okay. Let's assume that okay. So just forget about this GUI. I want a piece of code. I want a simple application where it is giving you two options. Okay, whether you want to add contact, if so, like menu class, right? If you want to add, press 1, and then you have to enter name and phone number, and it will add in contact. I mean, in this list. And finally, there's a GUI where you will be populating all those stored contact, right? So how will you write those 4 lines to implement this kind of feature? In notebook class, how we used to add pages? Right, so that is like setting private variables or object specific variables, right? But we were able to add pages dynamically. So what data structure we use this? We use list, right? So here also we can use a list, empty list, right? A class contact, and then we can have an empty list, okay? And then in it we can implement, let's say, username and sorry, email ID and name, okay? Then what we can do is we can create some contact manager CM equal to contact manager, whatever it is. Just call the constructor. It will create a contact manager, and then we can pass this one email address and username. So can you just implement it quickly? Because yeah. right? So there will be a class level variable, right? So the code will be something like class contact, okay, and then you might be having contact list, which is right, which is empty, and then you will be having something like def, sorry, def underscore init underscore, and then first argument will be self, okay, and then name or email ID, okay. So what we have to do now? Yeah, right. So basically, this is little kind of, let's say you want to add 4 contacts, so you have to create 4 different this one variable of, like, let's say how will you create the variable of this object? Okay. So each time, if you want to create 4 contacts, you have to create 4 variables, right? Let's say C1 equal to contacts and then email, comma, name, right? So once you do this, because in it we are initializing this email and name, and last time will be adding that name in the list. So what should that be? That line be? Right. So in order to append the list, what code should you write in init? You might have written some code in init, right? Init underscore and then self, right? Yeah. And let's say email. You're having an email and then name, whatever it is, might be having phone number, right? So what you should write here? Self dot email is equals to whatever email, correct? Similarly, self dot name is equals to name, correct? Now how will you add this in the list? There's an empty list, right? There's an empty list here. I want to add this C1 in this list. Self dot append. It should be this variable name, right? Because append is applicable in that variable name because that is the list, right? So let's say the name of this list is contact list. So it should be contact list dot append. Append with what? Whatever you are going to pass. Let's say C1 here. So C1 is nothing but self here. So what you should write here now? C1 not, because C1 is not yet created, because as a part of this contact we reached here, right? Self dot contact list. Self dot contact. Just check whether it is working. If you want to, if you print this contact list, if you print this, are you getting self dot contact list dot append with self? But C1 is not yet created, right? Right. This function is getting called as a part of this line, right? Constructor will call underscore init, right? So C1 got created by the constructor, but now we are initializing that C1, right? With email and name. So in terms of memory layout, you will be having one list, okay, and when you write C1 is equals to contact with all the info, constructor will create a C1 object, okay, and it will be having two fields. First is email ID, second is name, okay, and we are initializing these two variables using this code, okay. Because when init is getting called, object is already created, right, and constructor is calling init, right. When you write C1 equal to contact, what will happen? Constructor will get called, and then that constructor will internally call underscore init, because you implemented underscore init in your class, right? So you got this memory already. You got this memory already for email and name, this memory, and now you are going to initialize it using assignment. Okay. This is like this. Now in this, we are initializing these two fields, and the last line should be to add this reference here, right? This variable should refer to this object, correct? So for that, we are writing append here, right? But the question is, what should that line be? So if you write something, self dot contact underscore list dot append with self, and here you can do the initialization, email and name. So the question is it working? If I print, let's say what you do for testing, you create 3 or 4, C1, C2, C3 and C4, and try to print this list. Are you able to print it?
Append and self.
Right, if you write this code. There is no memory for okay. So you mean to say when you are writing in init, like self.name and self.email, that time only it is creating that those variables for that object, right? So okay, so here the definition is, if you just look at the class definition here. So in class definition, in class contact, we are having first line as contact list, and then instead of having it inside init, we are having it a class variable. This is called class variable. Okay, if you put it inside init, what will happen? Every object will be having its own individual contact list. Getting? Then every object will be having its own contact. So at the end, you are not going to append in that global list. You'll be appending in your local list, right? So global list will still be empty, right? So what is the problem with this statement now? What is the problem with this statement? If I write self.contact list, it will create one more contact list, right? With local variable, right? Local variable. So how to access a class variable? Okay, anything which is ever in it, right? Like this, anything which is ever in it. For example, like this, all contact equal to this one, which is above this init, right? How to access that? My contact that all contact dot append dot self. Get it? So that is called class level variable, which will be shared among all the object of this class. Okay, so we want to append in that global list rather than in local list. And if you write self.contact list, it will create a new.
Dot that contact dot all your when you are calling that some function or variable outside your class. At that time, you were doing it. You used to give the class name that dot, and if that any function name is present in that class. When we are dealing outside the class, we are not inside the class. They are also the same strategy.
Right. So, for example, let's say you wanted to you want to deal outside the class, right? Okay. So,
I used to give like my contact.
okay.
Dot, and let's suppose some function is there inside the class. Then that function name I will give. After that, by passing the parameter, we can create
Function name you should give with the object.
Yeah.
With the object, because all the functions, they are doing what? Let's say if you talk about init function, they are doing what? It is initializing memory of the object, a specific object. Getting my point? If you call using my contact, if you call any function using this, let's say there's a function called print here. For example, take example. Let's say you are having one more function, print here, or any other function, right? If you call that function using my contact, or if you call that function using any variable, let's say c1 equal to my contact, and then you call that function using c1 dot that function, then self will be c1. But if you call that function by my contact, then what would self be then? Because when we are calling any functions, that is specific to that object we wanted to call, right? So let's say we want to print email and name. We want to print for some object. Let's say c1. For c1, we want to print email and name, right? So if there's any function which is accessing this global variable, if there is any function which is accessing this global contact list, which is shared among all the objects, then you can call that using class name, because we want to access that global, not a object specific thing. Right? So just quickly test if it is working, and what was the problem if I write this one here, whatever it is, self.contact, all contacts and blah, blah.
How different is this from the node which we created? Where we said self-dot and then we are adding node. We just call it a self-dot node.
There it is a local variable.
It must be
It
global.
is a local.
1 minute, I'll just look at that.
Creating an object.
Okay.
And I'm trying to print that object dot contact list.
You created an object, c1 equal to contact manager, something, and then c1 dot.
Print c1 dot contact list.
Okay.
So that list, I mean, has to be able to.
So what are you getting?
I'm not getting any. It is giving me memory location.
No. See, that will give you memory location only if you want to print any those fields. You have to write that specifically. Get it? So that is a list of object of type contact. Okay. Now you wanted to print those email and phone number, right? So just by writing, let's say list 0 or list 1, it will give you address. Okay. If you want to print something, you have to write that code in let's say print that contact list 0 dot name dot email. Got it?
So this is CM1, I have created the object with contact manager class and email ID and phone number I have given.
Okay.
and I am trying to print the contact list, whether it is updated or not.
Okay, okay.
So print, you are telling that I have to give like object name dot.
If you write object name dot email, it will print object name dot what is the, I mean, if you write c1 dot email or c1 dot name, it will directly print that name and email, right? You probably wanted to check that.
Check the
है ना?
list.
So for that, what you can do is how to access class member, I mean class wise variable using class name.
So class name, then I have to write print class name contact manager is my class name.
Right, dot whatever, that is class level variable, na? class wise. It's not a specific, it's not an object specific variable, it's a global variable which will be shared among all the object of that class.
So contact manager dot contact list.
Right. So
no, still it is giving memory location.
no, it will give a memory location only. If you wanted to print name, then you can write contact manager dot contact list bracket 0 dot name dot email. Okay, and let's say if you add 3 or 4, then it will give memory location. If you add 1 and then you print, you will get 1 memory location. If you add 1 more, C2 equal to contact manager something, then again you print that, you will get 2 memory location. Then you will get 3, 4, 5. Okay. So now if we talk about this menu, I think in notebook that is global variable. Let me check it once. Page, there were 2 classes. One is page and one is notebook. One was
notebook, yeah.
note and notebook. So in note we were having everything in local, right? But if we talk about notebook class, there we are having so if you talk about this note is having all these things local, right?
This was there in the notebook.
List was there in notebook because notebook contain pages.
Yeah.
So
We said self.notes. That is what it is.
okay, right. So we created only one notebook. We didn't create 2 or 3 notebook. Got it? We created only one notebook.
Yeah, but multiple notes.
Right. So only one notebook and one notebook. So if you talk about the memory of this notebook, what it is having? 1 minute. Let me open this.
Yeah, that was something 5 minutes.
So for example, okay, if we talk about
So here also we are creating contacts and appending them to the contact list, right?
right, I just wanted to show the memory layout of this node thing. That will be clear. Right. So if we talk about memory layout of this notebook, right? If we draw it, what it is having, this is my notebook. In RAM, this is my notebook. Okay, if I write n1 equal to notebook, I got this kind of object. Inside this, I'm having what? Nodes, right? A list node, nothing else. Right? So it's nothing but a list of nodes. Right? Now it is having, and what is this node? The type of this node is it's a list of nodes. It's not a list of integer, it's not a list of character, it's a list of objects, right? So we will be having memo here, date here, and tag here, and this field will be having for each and every.
Yeah.
Okay. So this list was inside every notebook, and we created only one notebook, and we keep on adding in this notebook.
So those were tags for the node, but this contains the nodes, right? What are pages?
Okay.
Right? Nodes with pages.
Okay, right.
So here also we are doing the same thing. Like note, instead of notebook, we are calling it as contact manager.
Correct.
And instead of page or notes, we are calling it as contact. again going into a list.
Correct.
It's called all
So-
contacts.
His question is why this note
Here we
list
self
is
sort.
local here and why that is a global here, class wise, right? This is not the difference, right? So just think about it. Coming in 5 minutes. Okay. So just look at that code. What this is now.
So now what did you create? You created a function to class to add the notes or
No, no,
add the
I have, see, one thing is here, like if you make it inside the definition that the contact list now, what will happen? You will always get only one contact. Because only one object will be created regarding that. If you want to see all the contacts in one shot, you have to make it a global thing where everything is stored.
Here also the same thing, right? It's self notes that is actually this, right? That we are creating in a notebook class. And when we are creating a note means that is a page. We create a page and come here and add that page to the notebook, right? In the self notebook. Here also the same thing, right? Happening. Instead of notebook, we are calling it as contact manager.
In that notes we are adding, I mean the description we are adding the memo tags and all.
Yeah. Here also in contact, we are adding email and mail.
Two classes. The object, note object is inside the notebook. Then contact. The contact object doesn't have any class inside that. So when you create a class contact C1, contact C2, and that list is global. Outside C1, you will be able to access that list. Here outside N1, you won't be able to access that
So
list.
this is
It's
only
like-
one.
It is like let's suppose 10 people are there in this classroom and you distributed one chocolate to each one. If you want to see all the chocolates, you have to call everybody in the class, then you have to check. Let's suppose there is a rack here. Whoever got the chocolate, they started keeping it. You want to see all the chocolate, all you can see that rack. This is the same. If you define the contact inside in it now, it is like to check any contact, you have to always call that object related to that object. But if you make it global, then you don't need to call the object always. I think by giving the class name and dot contact list what he said, it creates an other than the object, there is some place where everything is getting stored.
So here on the self-taught notes, instead of here, they have declared above it.
If they have declared by one, I was thinking, if they will make it above, then
Here, outside N1, you won't be able to see the note list.
नहीं वो क्लास के अंदर रहता है लेकिन इनिट के बाहर रहता है क्लास के अंदर ही रहता है
You declare, instead of contact, we declare it outside. Maybe there we had two classes, notes and notebook. All notes we used to create there with tags and whatever, and then appending everything into a notebook in other. Here it's only one class, contact manager. And there is that is
So if you create N1 here, then say create another notebook, two notebooks. And you won't be able to see that N1 dot that variable globally. Also, once you come out of that. See, you have C1 contact list 1, contact list 2 there. So then you see the list over there, contact list, you see two of them, right? Two values in the list. Whereas in notebook, it won't happen. You create two notebooks here. So there are two independent notebooks. So the list is independent to each of them.
Not notebook, getting notes. The F1 is going to note, and then we are appending that note to the notebook.
Where is the list? The state inside the notebook.
Ah.
So that's why either you should make it global or local. So if it is a global variable, you create two notebooks, and the list will be appended with the two notebook details.
Those notes will be appended to the list in the notebook.
Yes, each
So
notebook
one-
will have list of notes again.
There's only one note, getting multiple pages and appending them to the notebook.
Like inside the notebook, why didn't we created a list of notes?
So we created that by we never said that the class name dot list, right? We simply said self dot, and then here is telling maybe that is because we are not creating two functions, two classes, just one class. And in that one function itself, we are adding.
We can give time to those notebook examples. You can- After coming here, I started singing. But this one I understood completely. What you started with.
Yeah.
Why was the need of local, not creating local, and why was the need of creating global? That part is clear. If you create it local, then you can't see the contact list and email, sorry, contact and email of all the objects in one shot. If you want to see all the object, contact and email in one shot, you have to make it global.
You're calling it multiple times. You're creating multiple instances of the class there. on that.
Okay, then here also, if you want to see a memo or tag and whatever, right? 3 lines.
I will then I have written the code. I will just get the same example what I said. You see the code. Very clear. In this example. Output is right.
So this is just one class here. There we had two classes, nodes and nodes.
Other than image,
No, not functions. We had two classes, right? Node was a class
yeah, and
where we had 3 variables, node, tag, memo, and something. Then all those nodes classes we used to append in the notebook class. So here it is only one class. That is why we can't say self, because otherwise it is self dot contact list. Now we call it a new contact list will be created. Means new list will be created. Will not be appended.
it will become just a variable inside that image.
Yeah. So means you will have multiple lists, contact lists like multiple. So, the email ID that
My next question in this is, when I am whenever a list gets created, if you call the list name, it will give you all the elements of the list. Let's suppose you created a list, separate. Let's suppose you created a list LST, and in which you have defined 0, 1, 2, 3, or 2, 9. Now, when you print a list LST, you get all the elements. You don't need to print like list 0 and then something. I don't know why here it is being followed like that.
Yeah. only if you want to explicitly print fourth variable, then we'll say list dot fourth.
So currently in my example, in that list, there will be 2 email ID, 2 phone numbers. If I will print list, I
If
say,
it is simply print contact manager, then everything should be
no,
coming out.
print
Contact list.
list. Everything
Everything should be displayed.
But here we are going for zero indexing and
Variable name.
variable name. I don't know how is the structure inside the list. I wanted to know how in memory it is. I think looks like a list inside a list is getting created somehow. That's why we are going inside the zero position.
And in the notebook program also, we printed the same thing. And P was an object. Not and zero dot. Okay, that was because we are trying to print the node. What was a class?
So first node only.
P was a class object which was nothing but a node on a page. In that page 0 dot memo, there is a text message. To print that, we used to use the print object dot class.
What is what are we appending
is an
here?
object.
No, D dot node zero is an object. What are we appending to this? Page object,
That
right?
is correct. Yeah,
So up to this, it is an object. This is an object.
Okay.
So then dot the memo is a variable attribute in a page class, right? This is page class. First instance of page object. This one second instance of page object.
So in that means what you're saying that means that D is having multiple objects there.
No, B is an
Right.
object.
So the node
D is also having
No,
object.
B is one object. Right?
So object is having object here.
no your
Object dot
B
class.
dot node will give you the pointer to the list, right? And that list will have indexes in it. Each index points
Represents
to
one page.
one page.
In that memo is the variable.
So the list element here, there is a page object.
Okay, in that case, let's suppose E dot dot node zero I will print. I should build something, right?
This
That is
refers to
memory.
the first
But memory of
page,
the-
first page
Okay, that
object,
memory location is the node zero, otherwise node one is second page.
second page object, instances and instances.
If you want to print the variable, then we have to use it.
Yeah,
Dot
obviously
memo.
object dot.
Similarly, I think dot email dot.
I think in last class I missed this point. That's why I was wondering. Last class also the same thing. I was not able to print, but the class timing was so that I was so hungry.
Yeah, I saw you having to put it.
I think next week, no, this page was no person, not there. But now before sitting,
So I didn't ask him question. I stopped asking question in between in the last class because I was on idle. Whatever we did, later I figured.
we just tell what you're shaking, that's what you're asking.
I'll tell him right.
That's what Abhishek was expecting in fact. Yes, yes.
current way. Is correct.
He said.
So you got any reason for why we had this?
There we had two classes, in fact, page or note were correct class. We are creating a note there with three variables.
Correct.
And we had notebook also as another class.
Correct.
And in another class, we are calling this class and appending that.
Correct.
to that list.
So that is the overall software development what we did in that. I mean, that's how we designed it to be. So the question here is why we are having this note here locally. What problem will happen if you put it outside the notebook?
Outside the init.
That was his question. His question is why we are having notebook here inside the init, this one, this list, and why we are having this in contact manager, why we are having it outside.
No, my question was why make it self-notes.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah, here, na? Here, because if we talk about, if we say self.note,
This is the one.
this is the one we are talking about. Like here, if we say self.note, it will create a new variable. It will not refer to the class
Because-
variable.
Because the list we have created outside the class.
Correct. Here,
Outside
if I say self.note, we will be talking about this one because this is specific to the object. Every time when you create a notebook object, this list will be inside that object, a data member of this of that object. But if we talk about this one, if we talk about this one, right? If we talk about this one, this is class-wise list. This memory will not be present inside each and every object. This is a global list which all object will be referring to. Okay, so how to access this? Not using object name dot, using class name dot. Okay. So depending on how you are creating. So this is called class-wise variable. This is not object-wise variable. So what are object-wise variable here? Name, email. These two are object-wise variable. Every object will be having name field and email attribute or data member.
Or can I say like we have clubbed there we are creating a note or page with variables. And then in notebook class we are appending these notes with them.
Correct.
But here we are creating this one class with one function primarily.
Mhm.
We are creating the contact as well as appending that in the same class and the same function to the list.
No. See, it's all about how you are designing the company software. Okay. So if we talk about notebook should contain n number of nodes. That's it. Notebook should contain n number of nodes.
So here also say contact manager, it will have number of many contacts.
Sorry, come again.
If I compare notebook to contact manager
Okay.
and note to contact, right? Node had memo tags, some variables.
Mhm.
Similarly, contact will have mail email.
Mhm.
Both are same. Now, this node we are going and appending into the notebook. Similarly, here, contact which we are creating, we are going to append to the contact. Is that all same?
So it's all about designing. Let's say you want to design in this way, the way you are talking about. Yes, you can create two classes. One is contact manager, in which this list is a local. Okay,
But here-
and then you create a class contact, separate class, where you are having, let's say, name, phone, email, and
Can
number
create
of
a
things.
contact there,
Right,
append.
and number of things. And then you can append in that contact manager's local list.
Instead, here we are doing entire thing one.
Yeah, that is happening in one person.
So
Right,
here, say I create multiple instances of contact, C1, C2.
correct. For example.
So all three of them will talk to one signal.
By
Right.
default, I think in the one.
Will append to the same signal. It will
Same-
not be
same.
destroyed. Anytime.
It will be destroyed when the complete software will exit that time. If C1 got deleted, that list will not be having any effect. I mean, that list will be there. Getting. If you access, for example, let's say, okay, so what you wanted to slide. Let's say I got around 10 entries here. 0, 1, 2, blah blah blah, and then 9. Okay, so 0th will refer to this contact. This is nothing but the address of this contact. है ना? So this is nothing but the address of this contact. So if I delete this contact, this is no longer in the picture, but I'm having some address here, right? Which is referring to this, which is no longer valid actually. Okay, so if you try to access this, it might give you some error, like it is no longer alive, something like that. So what you have to do is you have to clean this also from the list.
Say I created the first instance of C1.
Correct. So let's say C1 equal to
So now
contacts.
the list is created.
C1 equal to contacts, and so list was initially empty. Okay, list was initially empty.
Empty.
Yeah, 1 minute. Let's say this is my list. This is initially empty. Nothing is there, and you created C1 equal to contacts. Okay. Something you have given, some name and some email. Right. So what will happen as a part of this? This is a constructor which will internally call underscore init, and underscore init. What we are going to do is, so basically somewhere in the memory, one object will get created. It will get name and email ID. Now the last line is append, so it will make entry here, and this 0 will point to this. Similarly, if I create C2, so this
So
is
all of them, C1 and C2 knows the list refer to that list.
because the code is like that. This is a class-wise variable. This is a class-wise variable, and we are writing how we are writing contact dot all list all underscore contact dot append. So basically, all underscore contact is what is a class-wise variable, which is nothing but this variable. Okay, so we are appending here. We are creating this C1 somewhere in the memory, and finally we are appending in this list. Similarly, when we create C2, when we write this one is contact something something, ultimately this constructor will call init, and the last line in that init is append where in this class wise variable. So then it will be 0, 1.
Somehow they are sharing the same location. They remember across C1 and C2. They remember that.
Right, because why? Because we are using contact dot all contact. When we write contact dot all contact, we are talking about this memory.
That is common across all.
That is class wise variable, and that will be, so whenever you write something like this, whenever you write something at the above of all the functions, okay, it will become a class wise variable which will be shared among all the object of this class. So let's say you're having n number of objects, C1, C2, C3, C4, they all will share this. So that is class wise memory. Okay, it is not object specific memory. So what is object specific memory? This is object specific memory. Where it is? This is object specific. Every object will be having name and email. C1, then C2 will be having name and email. C3 will be having name and email. And what is this? This is class wise variable.
So we could have done same thing with respect to notebook.
You could have done.
If two functions are there inside the class, and let's suppose in first function there is a variable called p.
Okay.
I want to use that variable in second function also.
Okay. No, that is local variable. You cannot.
Huh?
That is local variable.
Between definition.
Def, let's say ABC, self, something, and then DEF, XYZ, self, comma, something. Okay. Now here what you are having?
Here is one variable called a is there. But I want to access that here.
This variable here?
Yeah.
No, not possible.
So can we access that like contact?
No, first of all, this is a local variable to this function. If you write self.a, then it's a different story. Then you are creating a dynamically for this object whenever you call this ABC. Okay, let's simplify
So
it.
this is self.a and then
X, Y, Z.
can be used in XYZ.
Yeah, you can use. But the calling should be first you call this ABC so that this A will get created and then you can access it here.
How I will write ABC dot
A.
How you have to write ABC? No, that is self.a.
dot A inside XYZ also.
Right. So let's say for example,
That self is a contact.
self is a contact, right?
So it is same. Same value. Self.a. Same in the class is same. Definitely same.
Okay, 1 minute. Let me make it simple. CLASS class A. Okay. And I am having, let's say, all contact equal to null, and then I am having init self something, and then I am having self.x, self.y. Okay, and then I am having one more function, let's say ABC. Again, I'm having self here, dash. Here I'm writing self.p. Okay, I'm having one more function, def xyz. Again, self here. Okay, here I want to self self dot y is equals to self dot p. Correct? Okay. So now if we talk about now, if so, this is clear, right? This is clear. Now, if I want to create one member of this class, one object of this class A, what I will write? Let's say obj. obj1 is equals to A, and then I'll call constructor. Okay, obj1 and then equal to A constructor, right? So what will happen? This constructor will call init. Okay. This constructor will call init, and now what will happen? If we talk about RAM, I'll get one object, and it will be having what? X and Y, because of these two lines. Okay. Now if I write obj1 dot ABC, what will happen? In ABC I'm writing again self dot p. So again I'm adding in this object one more p. Okay, I'm adding one more p. Let's say this is equals to 40. So this will be pointing to 40. Okay. Again, if I call ABC dot xyz, obj1 dot xyz, what will happen? I'm initializing this y field with 40. Okay. Now if you revert, if you change this one, even if you change this one, this code will work, no problem here, because again I'm writing self. Oh no, we have a self dot p. So this self dot p, if I change the order of calling of this function, self dot p is not yet created. It got created because of this line.
Yeah, without calling ABC. Call
Right.
XYZ directly.
Now if you write one more a here, let's say a is equals to something 40, and instead of 40 I'm having a here. Okay, if I write a, so this a is local variable of this function. This a is local variable of this function. Okay, so whenever there is a function call, a stack of that function will get created. Okay, whenever there is a function call, so I just explain you one more thing. Whenever there is a function call, a stack of that function will get created. So for example, if we talk about the same code, I think we can select this 1 minute. Option to cut. No, there was some option. Okay. So whenever there is a function call, so let's say obj1 dot xyz. So it's a function call. So whenever there is a function call, a stack of that function will get created in the memory, means RAM. Okay. So let's say this is my RAM. So for this function ABC, one stack will get created. So how many variables we have in this xyz? Local variable in this function xyz. Self. Okay, whatever the argument we are passing, that will be the local variable. Okay, one self, and let's say you are passing some q and r. Okay, and you are having one more variable here. Let's say z is equals to 20. Okay, now if I am calling this function xyz with some 50, 60. Okay, so how many variable, how much memory will be allocated in the RAM? One memory for self, one memory for this q, which is nothing but 50, one memory for r, this is 60, and then in local z we are having one z also, right? In xyz we are having one z variable also, so that z variable will be, it need not be in the same fashion whatever I am drawing, but this memory will get allocated in the RAM. So now z equal to 20. Okay, now when you call this function xyz, this local variable will be set, and what will the value of self? That memory address where the object is. So it is object here, and address is 0x45. You will be having 0x45 here. Okay, right? So when you calling function, all this local variable will get memory, and when this function returns, when you execute the last line of this function, and this function will return, what will happen? This memory will released. So stack will be created for every time when you call a function. So once you return from this function, next line will get executed. obj2 is equals to, let's say, a. So this is my next line. So once you come here, it means that you are returned from xyz. So all these things will be released. So once it is released, you cannot refer r and z and q, right? Because they are no longer in the picture, right? So local variable in a function you cannot access from some other function. Got it? You wanted to access what? You want to access a of this function here in xyz. No, you cannot, because you were at that function, you were able to access, but when this function will return, this memory of a, self, everything will go. Okay, so you cannot access here. But when you write something like self dot something, you are adding where? You are adding in the object. In this object. When you write self dot a, If you write self dot a, not a, self dot a, then you are getting one a here. If you write self dot z, you are getting one z here in this object effectively. So even though you are written from this function, because of this function calling, you added one variable here in this object.
So when we are calling, making an object, so the functions stack is different and the object stack is different, but they are connected.
They are connected like this.
Like through self.
Because we are calling object dot xyz. So whatever the self here will be set with this object memory. And let's say this object is 0, 4x, so 0 cross 4x. Okay. So all this object is somewhere in the memory. This stack of functions is somewhere in the memory. Okay. But whenever you write self, inside self, you are getting one address which is pointing to that object memory. And whenever this function will return, the local variable of this function will return, but object is untouched. And as a part of this function calling, you can add attribute or data members in the object using self.p, self.x, self.y. Okay. And when you write something like this, class A, let's say class capital A, and if you write something all underscore contact separate, so this is not object wise memory, this is class wise memory. So you will get, and let's say if I write 10 here for simplicity, let's say if I write 10 here, so you will get a list of 10. Okay, and now if you create C1 equal to A or C2 equal to A, you will get C1, C2 here, right? And this memory is different because this is class-wise memory, and these are object what we are creating. So object will get memory depending upon what and all we are writing in underscore underscore init. If we are having only 2 or 3 fields, 2 fields, then we'll be having 2. If we are having 3 fields, then it will be 1, 2, 3 in specific to object. And if we delete this object C1, this will be deleted. This will be enters.
That's why we have created it globally. Otherwise, if it would have been under inside any function,
Right.
it would have gone
Inside, let's say if you create this all dot contact, like if you create this all dot contacts, for example, so let's say class A. Okay, if I write underscore underscore init underscore underscore and then self and something something here, and if I write self dot all underscore contact equal to, let's say, 10. Okay, and then I'm having self dot name something, self dot email equal to something. Let's say here I'm having name and email. So this name will be initialized with name and email will be email. Now if I create something like C1 equal to A or C2 equal to A, I'll get what? I'll get 2 objects, C1 and C2. Okay. In this object, I'm having 2. This is called my email, this is called my name, and then I'm having what? A list of 10. Correct. And if I write append at the last here using self dot all underscore contact dot append self, what will happen? I'm appending this address at this location.
So for C2 also it will be added.
For C2 also, so let's say this address is 0x45, this is 0x46. I'm ultimately going to write these two here in this 45, 46 and 45.
So we have 2 lists.
We have 2 lists. And now if you try to print this list, first of all, you will not be able to print this list using class name. You have to print this using self, then it will print only 1. And this will print only 1 element because we are having only 1 element. And if you make it outside, then it will be like both will be added in the outside list. And then if you print it, it will print all 2. Clear? Okay. Okay, so let's say once that array got completed, okay, let's say you added 4 or 5 contact like this. Okay, for example, let's say I've added this many contacts. Okay, now if I want to print that global list, how to print that? So in a, let's say in a while loop or in a for loop, because I want to iterate through the complete list, right? So you can have one print function and you can have this code in that print function. For X in my contact dot all contact, print I in I dot name, print I dot email. Okay, and what will be the type of I? Is it integer?
Object.
It's an object. So depending upon what kind of list you are iterating through, right? So let's say your list is of integer list, then you can write if X in some list, X will be integer. Okay, just quickly write this code. So how you have to write this code? Create a function. Create a function def print all contacts. Inside that, write this code. Sorry. Okay. This one. What is saying? Now just tell me what exactly you have written. The line. I mean, if you talk about this one, you are having def init, like this, and you are having serve dot name here, serve dot email here. Okay, and then something like this. Do one thing, just contact list dot append. Just write like this. Contact list dot append self. And then you might be having something obj equal to contact. That could also you're having, right?
The error change is contact manager. My class is not defined.
Class is not defined. And what is that class name? Class name.
Contact manager.
So
My class name is contact manager.
So it should be contact manager dot contact list dot append. And what is not defined?
This class itself is not.
Is it this? This is there, right?
Is there.
Save it. Is it save?
Yeah.
So I can choose.
Okay. How you are executing it? And what is the error? Error is contact manager is not defined. Why this contact manager is not defined? How to execute this?
Control
B.
B.
index. That's
Can we run this method with data class?
Others, even in other code is not a problem, right? If I check,
That way to load time.
okay.
So we went to that feedback to load it, get it out. So whatever code you have written, can you execute just like this, or you have to go that feedback to code?
Object anyway you have to create, but you are getting error in this line contact measure dot all context dot append. If you comment that line.
That is because self is self.
Contact is dot append self and your self here, so it should not be there because all contact.
When we create objects, self
No, it is, but it should not give. It's an error in class definition, sir. It's working for you guys.
actually I'm trying to print inside the for loop.
Uh-huh.
I've written for I in object name dot contact list.
No, this class definition is working for you. If you remove that, everything else is working for you.
He has quite
Okay.
in fact we'll get it right again.
I mean, anything worked for you before, or it is like first time it is
first time the simple one was
simple
the
one?
first class. Notebook also worked.
Right?
Here's where
Definition
class definition.
As is now.
up and in right up. It's there.
Syntax and all
It's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
will
know.
Very
know.
simple class.
Yes. That paste will see.
Okay.
We just close this file and start
Yeah.
writing from the beginning. Is it like saving or? It's saving. For you guys, it's working. The same code. Same code is working for you guys.
Variable wise and parameter wise everything.
Class also is
It's working for you, right? Just whatever you are having, just make it the similar.
Okay. Here, contact dot contact.
This content is not taken. It does- What did you name that?
Contact manager.
Contact.
create fine.
क्यों चलेगा? फंक्शन बनाना है ये फंक्शन तुम्हारा इस क्लास से बाहर है। ठीक है। In context से वो function तो क्या करना चाहते हो अभी इसको बंद करना। वो चलाना पड़ेगा। इसको बंद कर दीजिए और print ये बाहर में क्यों करना है? वैसे तो नहीं होगा, बाहर में अगर करना है तो C1 डॉट समथिंग करो। कुछ नहीं करना। तो करा के क्या फायदा है? ये बेकार में एक्सरसाइज करो। हाँ वही मुझे भी समझ नहीं है, तू करना क्या चाहता है? करना है
एक फॉलो में डालो सारा print।
अच्छा वो अच्छा सारा एक पूरा लिस्ट एक साथ देखना चाहता है, ये फंक्शन क्रिएट करना है।
From
इसमें
the function dot which is not
What was the problem?
Nothing, we just create another file.
New file.
something spaces.
Maybe.
So, any doubt so far? So we'll add few more things here in this contact manager. Okay. We didn't started as inheritance. So for example, let's say you are having 10 contacts in your contact manager. For example, you are having 10 contacts in your contact manager. Okay. So let's say if you are having Android mobile or any mobile that is screen, if you just press that contact, you'll be getting some options like call, something like that. Right? You can call that, you can message that, you can WhatsApp that, you can send some file to that contact. Right? So let's say for example, in your contact list, you are having few your friends and few contacts are from those they are like suppliers. You wanted to order water or you want to order food from those, but you cannot order food from your friends, like you can, but you can order food from a contact which is supplying food. Okay, you can order, let's say, water from some contact which is like water supplier, water tanker, right? Some electrician is also added in your. So these contact will give you service, right? So now you have to change this. Now you have to change this contact in such a way that few contact will be, for few contact this order field will be applicable. Got it? Right? I mean, let's forget about this code. Okay, let's say this code is not there. I should not have shown this code. Okay, so let's say this code is not there. Assume that this code is not there. In that case, if you, so if I want this kind of functionality, like if you select that contact which is capable of sending you order, only for that contact you should get that order option.
Yeah, so we can group them by creating the contact itself. We can say type, maybe put supply.
It's like
And then for that, we'll have a template. Whoever is capable of supplying,
Okay.
he will get the information.
Right. So how will you identify whoever is going capable of supplying things?
While entering itself, user has to identify what type.
Okay.
So if I know that the restaurant's nearby, so I will say, or advocates.
Correct. So how to implement that? Whatever you're thinking is correct, right? So few content are able to cater you. Ordering from those contact will be meaningful. Okay, because they're capable of supplying you something. So you can order something from them.
Say, Jeff, you need self name, email ID, and then a type.
Maybe instead of list, we should have a different
No, this
dictionary or something.
you can have type after email ID. So based on the type, just like we created one menu that last time.
Okay.
Like
But if you create type, then everybody will get one type. But
Everybody will get in one type. That type will be there for your friends also, for your let's say family members also, and for your, so let's say, so for each and every, so every time you have to set that type.
Then we will make type as a blank string. So it is not mandatorily for everybody,
Mhm.
but those whom I am passing the type, then it will get overwritten. Otherwise, it will
Okay.
empty.
Okay. Okay. So by default it will be like null string, and then so let's say type is suppliers, then you'll mark some S. Okay, that will be S. Now while you ordering something, so you'll be having one more function here, order function, whatever I'm writing here, right? You should be having that order function. You can implement here in this class, right?
If type yes, then
If type is S, then order is, otherwise it will send you some error. So that is like a kind of correct approach of implementing this one. Second thing is like reusing the code. Suppliers are again your contacts. Okay. So what we can do is we can create one more class, suppliers. And if I write bracket contact, it means that this suppliers inheriting this contact class. Okay. If I write class suppliers in a bracket contact, it means that this supplier class is inheriting that contact class. Okay. It means that whatever, all these things will be available to supplier. And it is having one addition function also, that is called order.
so another list will be created.
The same list, it will be appended.
So all the contacts will be separate.
All the contacts will be
Okay.
no. So how now? What you have to do is what you have to write. For example, let's say if I were to add in the same file, I'll write something like this. Okay. First is contact, right? So let's say C1 equal to something. Okay. Similarly, C2, C3, C4, and for creating suppliers, it will be S1 equal to, now I have to call constructor of suppliers. Suppliers. Okay, so when I say suppliers, I'm calling constructor of suppliers. Now it will call underscore init of this, because I'm inheriting, so everything is available to supplier. And in addition to supplier, all this function, it is having one more function which is called order function. So now if I write s1.order, okay, it is applicable. But if I write c1.order, it will give me error.
But here you are giving that order thing for all the contacts.
No, only for suppliers.
Only for suppliers, because when you create suppliers, what will happen? See, functions are not will not get memory in the object. Functions are somewhere in the memory. They don't have anything with the object memory. Okay, so if you talk about object memory of S1, if it is still having these two fields only. Okay, functions are somewhere in memory in a different address. But when you call S1.order, it will able to invoke that order for S1, but not for contact. Why? Because C1 is not having any, C1 class is not having any order function implemented. Suppliers is having order function implemented.
But supplier function having this thing, parameter as a contact.
It's not a parameter. You are creating a class suppliers which is inheriting class contact. The meaning of this statement is you want to build a class suppliers which is inheriting from contact. So when I say inheriting from contact, it means that these two functions will be applicable. These are not complete thing. This will be applicable to, it is like the same code is there in the suppliers also.
So indirectly, it is inheriting all the objects.
It is inheriting all the codes, not object.
Not objects.
Object, how can you inherit object?
So C1 will become the supplier now? And
No.
contact is
No. Okay, I'll just show this one, the diagram.
Suppliers, you can also create contact. With the additional function.
Okay,
order
with the supplier type contact, we can creating the other
We can
contact.
create contact and we can also have
Okay,
additional
so
functions.
which having all the parameters, all the variables like.
All the functionality what contact was having,
Okay.
plus one order function also.
It is not at all inheriting the object, it's just inheriting the variables. what
Code.
it had.
It's called code reusability.
Code.
It's called code. Otherwise, I have to put everything in this suppliers also, right?
Instead of writing all that.
Okay. So this one, right? Now what? The same contact list will be global. Okay. I created C1 contacts. I'll get one object here. The name is C1 and this is C1. Okay. I created S1 suppliers. I'll get second S1, which is supplier. So in this list, I got two things added. Contact list, I got two object added. Okay. Now if I say C1 and what about these functions? Somewhere this print all function is there. Somewhere this print all function is there. Print underscore all some address. Somewhere this order function is there. Okay, this order function. This order function. Somewhere in the memory. When I say S1 dot order, since it is of supplier type and supplier type contain this order function implemented, it will call this function. But if I write C1 dot order, it will not call this function. It's error. Okay, so basically by writing class supplier contact in bracket, earlier how we used to define a class, just write class A, right? That's it. Okay, you can write like this also. But if I specify something here, let's say contact, it means that I'm inheriting supplier class is inheriting contact class. So whatever the code is there in the contact class, it will become a part of supplier class. Plus supplier is having one more addition order function. Okay. So this is a very basic inheritance. Tomorrow we'll see little complex things.
So when we are creating the object, let's suppose I'm creating object S1 for two suppliers,
Okay.
and in that two braces, I have to pass email and number also. right?
You have to pass email and number also.
Since it is inheriting the contact.
Correct. Correct. Because now init of this will become init of it also. Right. And this init is expecting two parameters. Right.
If you call the same name, it will become supplier. If you don't call it separate class, it won't be a supplier.
It will be contact.
It will, you are going to call either using contact constructor or use supplier constructor. You are going to create an object either using this class or this class. Contact class or supplier class. If you make that contact from contact class,
The order function will not.
order function will not be applicable, but you have to provide username and password here. Sorry, email address and name here. Here. And same you have to supply here also. Because the same init is applicable here also in supplier because you're inheriting from contact. So again you have to give it name and email ID. Okay. Print all will be applicable for both the object. Print all, because print all is here in contact and supplier is inheriting this contact. So print all will be available to both. So I can write s1.print all. Okay, so this is very basic inheritance. We'll make it data complex slowly. Like if I want something, some field extra in supplier, then what? Then should I implement init in supplier? If that is the case, then what about the init of contact and how to manage that? So let's say we are having only two fields here, right? These two is applicable to supplier also. But if I want to add 4 extra field in supplier, but I don't want that 4 extra field in contact, right? So then how to do that? Should I implement init here in supplier?
Also, can we have the supplier similar to contact? They'll say another one, class vendor,
Okay.
and then supplier. Yeah.
For example,
I'll say another class vendor. There's a supplier.
The double layer
Ah,
of
yeah,
inheritance.
that should be
1 minute. Yeah, like what?
class vendor.
Vendor will inherit supplier now.
Okay.
There's a
Yeah, it
supplier.
is. It is. And supplier inheriting contact. So you will get all those three. This vendor contain what? So if you create a vendor, if you get object from this vendor, let's say v1 equal to vendor, what will happen? This object contain three parts: memory for vendor, memory for supplier, and memory for contact. Okay. Right. But here we don't have any data member here. In supplier, we don't have any attribute in data members. So tomorrow we'll see what if I want to add few attribute or data member in supplier. Okay, and I want that only in supplier. I don't want that to go to contact. Right. So how should I write? Okay. So after adding those four fields, if you try to create a supplier object, it will be having what? These supplier specific data members, and these are contact specific, like name and email, because that got inherited. Okay, so object or supplier contain what? Attribute of its parent plus its own attribute. This is called inheriting, right?
So contact is the parent. Contact.
Contact will be a parent class for supplier, right? So inheritance is what? Inheriting properties from parent and having its own property.
There is no child.
Child is supplier is child, because supplier is inheriting from its parent. So supplier is child, you can say, and contact is parent. So child will be having its parent's property
Is additional.
and additionally its own. Okay, but here in this example, we don't have anything implemented for child.
So
data
we can have class supplier without the traditional function also, right? Just
Right, right.
like-
But it's of no use. Then
yeah.
it's of no use because you should have at least data members then. Let's say data members means like when you create S1, right? You are having what? Data members are name and email. है ना? Attribute, so attribute, data members, both are same thing. Data members and attribute, both are same thing. So when I'm creating S1 suppliers, I'm having only two fields, two data members only.
That is mandatory.
Okay, so that is inherited from contact, right? So if you remove this one and if you just inherit this, then it's of no use basically. Empty class. Then why you want another thing when you don't have any member function, any data members, then why you need that class?
But that will not throw anything.
One more thing is,
Hmm.
I mean, this print all statement when we have implemented now,
Print all, okay.
when we are creating the object,
Mhm.
so that object automatically contains that function in itself, right?
No. All functions are at some different location.
All-
Okay, all functions are at some different location.
Only init will be executed.
Init will be executed by constructor internally. Not all the other functions. Other function you have to call that function c1.printall, s1.printall.
So this init function is a sort of a default one. It should be always there.
If you don't implement it, no problem. Constructor will get called. I mean, because nothing will be there. We have seen that this you can add in some other function also, but then you have to call that function. For example, if I comment this init function,
Instead of init, if it says
I copy paste this here in print all. Then to get this field, I have to call print all function. Unless I call print all function, this field will not come in their object. So C1 dot print all I have to do first. Why I'm doing it init? Because init is something which is getting called automatically. So whatever the field I want in the object, I can put that in it and it will be called automatically by constructor. So I will get all those fields.
So most of the times init will be should be available.
Yeah, most of almost always. Unless until you are not inheriting it. Because then it will become automatically. Sometimes it's called abstract class. So we'll see what is the fun of abstract class. So we don't have that in abstract class.
So the second line, right, global contact list. Without that also it will work. But that is what is the best practice.
Okay, you take it as assignment, figure it out what is when we write global contact list and then like this, or if I comment global thing and then if I write. Got it? So let's say if I comment this, if I write only this one, or if I uncomment this and then if I write like this, what is the difference between these two?
You don't need to add the class name there. You say global.
Just figure it out. Take it as assignment.
Without global also.
Yeah, that is because
Global
we are
depending the class name.
class name dot. You say
It has become class member, right? Class, a member of class. It's class name dot that will be able to.
So now when they say global contact list, this contact list can be available outside the class also.
No, not
Okay.
outside the class. So tomorrow, initially, I'm just going to change the time. I'll make it 12 to 2. Any problem with that time? 12 to 2. It might be from 11:30. I mean, so in that case, Abhishek will ping like tomorrow 11:30 or something like that, or make it 11:30 only. But before coming, just check it once. Around 10 or 10:30, just check it once. Okay, so just do some practice and just look at this menu class. And if we have doubts on something, we can discuss that menu class also.